Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. YouTube's taking some good time, Twitch is scrolling. Looks like everything's booted on up. Give a moment to turn on the chat windows. And there we go. That should be all good to go. Give me another moment to check my other computer. Looks like everything is good to go. So let's go and get started. I do have a replay that was submitted to me. Just let me pull up my text document of numbers. Replay numbers. And replay, search, and paste. So let's go and do this one. Get my microphone in place and let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Small on the south side as the Red Grot. We have Matamon. Small on the north side as the Dark Gray Calder. We got Vide. Honestly, like Black Hole. Do I still call it Black Hole and Orange Star, or what do I call it? Because I never really know when it comes to Days of Ruin. Either way, this replay was submitted to me. I will not reveal until the replay is concluded, because generally, most of the time, somebody who is submitted the replay, generally it's a game they win. Though, sometimes somebody submits a replay that they lose, and very big props to those people. Either way, let's take a look at the COs. Calder's course slightly not nerfed, but reworked from the cartridge counterparts, so he's not blatantly overpowered, like all bosses should be. Standard boarding cost, 2 radius, no expansion, no energy. He provides plus 25% offense and defense and 2 healing that does cost funds, and of course no power nor superpower. Grap is of course a custom CO, 50% boarding cost, 0 radius like Tabata, 20, 50, 50. So cheaper and faster expansion and PCO power, provides the standard 10% offense defense, and of course anything in her CO zone gets plus 1 max range. You know her initial range is 1, so she has to make kills before she can provide that benefit to other units. Additionally, something I realized as well from last time I casted Grat is if a unit starts out from the CO zone, it can actually project forward and get the plus 1 range. So if the unit starts from the CO zone, get plus 1 max range, but if it ends in the CO zone, I don't believe it gets a plus 1 range. I could be mistaken about that. Additionally, of course, it gets this globally and plus 2 max range for all units. Generally, something I've been noticing as well, I think actually for Grat, one of the best units you can load yourself up into is an anti-air of all things. So you can go around sniping infantry units there since she doesn't have the same firepower as Tabata. And also, it's a little bit more difficult to counter out anti-air. Sure, a tank can, but a battlecopter gets zoned out by anti-air pretty easily. A tank is a tank, and she doesn't get any bonus firepower, but an anti-air gets a pretty good firepower versus infantry. So I think loading Grot into a anti-air is actually a pretty good call. This is, of course, a Fog War map, so a lot of things can go on. This map is a 2 base, 1 airport map, and both players do have an occupied temporary airport. There's also a seaport here, which can do some shenanigans there. There's plenty of sea towers to go down south as well, so battleships are a possibility, but unlikely. Either way, let's go and get started. Of course, player 2 starts with an infantry unit. And of course, infantry units get deployed on the field. I mean, this is the standard build opener. Nothing much I can say. You can probably take a better look at how the infantry gets spread apart. But overall, it looks just a bit more of a balanced capture. But of course, it's a little bit too early to say that, honestly. One thing I could have done is actually talk about the map while the initial move's going on. That's probably a better thing I should have done. Oh well. We have a bike now followed by Grot. I just realized something. There's a blue tile underneath this forest. Like, that's blue over there. Am I crazy? The other forest tiles don't have that blue. Is there a river underneath this woods? Is this a wooded river? Am I crazy? Okay, let's take a closer look. Can the bike... it's just out of range. Okay, infantry can move across it. Like, am I crazy? Is that a river behind this forest? I think I'm just going crazy now. I know there's a lot of extra tile types and subtypes in when it comes to Tiny Wars as opposed to Days of Ruin proper. A wooded river wouldn't be too absolute crazy. It would be a river but offer defense rather than no defense and perhaps a stealth insertion when it comes to infantry. I can see that being an actual tile subtype in the game. And I think there's Mist on River as a tile type as well, which should provide a bit of hiding. I think I'm going crazy. I don't know. Tank infantry. So we do have multiple mechs now pulled by Grot. There's also a T-Copter as well, so she might be eyeing for a bit of T-Copter play. There are no comm towers on this map as I can see. I see radar stations, which do provide +3 stars defense as well as income. We do now have a bike tank. And we could possibly see conflicts next turn, but probably not likely since Grot will be capturing up some sectors or properties. Battlecopter by Calder. I have a feeling it's going to be a CO-loaded Battlecopter by Calder. In this case, there's no anti-air nor anything of that sort. Slight recon pass goes for the radar station. I see there. Use the T-Copter there to scout out the radar station, see if she can push forward and start capturing it. Because in this case, she sees nothing here and will have to be trapped into it. So, very good call there. We do have T-Copter put up by Calder as well. And we do have anti-air here. As I mentioned beforehand, I really do think the CO for Grot's CO unit should be loaded up into an anti-air. My microphone looked like it was maxing out. I may be speaking a little bit too loudly. My apologies. Both players have gone to the corners. No CO loaded battle or anti-air, but this tank is on the HQ, which means it can be CO'd, and same thing here as well. So a lot of, not necessarily plays, but unit acquisition for plays are being obtained. Radar station sees a whole lot of nothing. And CO loaded onto that tank there. Maybe just move to the city for a stealth forward pushing off point. Ruins here are actually equal to Plains, has one defense star and same moon tile as Plains, but does provide hiding. I don't know why, it feels like a Ruin should be a 2-star. Like similar to cities, because it's supposed to be like a ruined city, right? Does spot the infantry unit there. And T-Copter's on top of the radar station, so if the infantry unit tries to obtain the radar station, it will be immediately spotted. Grot's not loaded units just yet. Anti-air is on to the HQ, so she could load herself up into that anti-air now. It looks like Calder's establishing a bit of death ball with a large number of battlecopters, so this anti-air might need a second anti-air, sealed or not. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Calder's really liking his battlecopters. They go swoi, swoi, swoi. It does seal the anti-air there, snipes the T-copter of all things. The command tank is hit at the moment. And does give her 10 energy halfway to 1 level expansion zone. Once she gets 1 level expansion zone, she can start pushing other units forward, making her far more useful. Her seals power, you would imagine, is immensely strong, but I always feel like it's lacking, honestly. I think it's when she gets +1 seal zone, that's when she becomes terrifying. More so than Tabata. Tabata is immediately terrifying. And I hit my microphone pretty hard right there, my apologies. And does not take out the battleship. I mentioned that's a possibility, but I didn't think there was going to be a Calder battleship on the field. Oh boy. That anti-air will be up to 3 health next turn. Right now it's at 4%. We'll get up to 30. It should, yep. Flare Fido there. Battlecopter Star interrupts the capture. Does not see the battleship just yet. That is something you really want to see as soon as you can. Command anti-air falls back, merges there, very nice. I think my microphone sort of fell a little bit. My microphone stand may be getting a little bit worn out. I've been using this thing for about 5 years now. Either way. Got a bunch of forward repairs there. Of course, this battleship was a double base skip. And the battleship should be quite powerful, to say the least. The battleship could just stay there as well. It doesn't have to go too far forward. Could eye for the reef there for hiding. Of course, not moving forward means it doesn't get spotted by these 2 tiles here. So the battleship is stationary this turn. Kills that off that unit while getting a bit of a recon pass. Manal sees the properties there as well. Very nice. Interrupts that capture. Will spot the flare, so the battleship can strike the flare there, and may not realize the battleship firing. Probably would assume be a rocket or or assume it's artillery right there, or a rocket there. Probably not expecting a battleship this turn or this game. Main ATM moving over here. Try and get some free picks there. And there's still no real problem to the battleship right now. Battlecopters think got nerfed to battleships, right? In Days of Ruin? Bike does fall back there. Unit does get picked on off. Recon gets picked off. Battleship nukes the flare in 1 shot. And that may or may not have been spotted. Grat, that could be a head scratch for Grat. Because I don't know if she's ever expecting a battleship this period. And that battleship came out pretty early as well. Battlecopter, of course, can strike the battleship. We got now a battlecopter tank anti-air. Medium tanks are nice. Battleship has pretty good coverage. This is what the battleship can cover. It locks down half the map effectively. Mech. T-copter's almost not super low in fuel, but that has been getting very well used. Right now, the infantry is kept the neutral city first, safer rather than trying to flip this one, as this one will be revealed. Good progress up north by Calder. Oda has a nice little death blob, or a little more than little. A flare tank battlecopter. Battleship falls back to the harbor because keeps it nice and safe, and bit of resupply never hurts. Making good progress up north, saves the radar station, which is providing some good vision. It jumps that capture as well. Multiple strikes over here. Command interior can strike one of the infantry units there, gets some power charge. The extra defense coming in play for Calder. Command interior did not take a shot there. Right now at 13 energy. Just needs 7 more damage, such as a 7 health infantry unit. Battlecopter, mech, and rocket. Takes a bike there, spots a whole bunch of stuff, including the medium tank. T-copter pulls back the infantry unit there, stuff rotating around. Command tank gets another good strike there, and hits the mech, occupying the T-port. Calder does have a very good supply of battlecopters, that's for sure. Oh, can't highlight. In Transport's probably where we can highlight the unit number to see what the composition is. Does get a good flare there. Command interior now has 1 AoE, or 1 zone, so this mech could get a shot from the mountain to hit the infantry or the bike there. It's probably just good for the mech to strike the tank there. Couple good picks there. Battlecopter strikes mech. Mech strikes tank. Does get a decent amount of power charge there, even though they wasn't utilizing the extra range. But sometimes power charge is all you need. Calder's command tank has been knocked out. Remember as well, Ruin's own fight concealment, no extra defense. Drop some capture there, but we got the artillery battleship in range with some infantry units there. That battleship has not been revealed just yet either. And got a sealed loaded tank there. Could have sealed the bomber, but maybe just a little bit overkill. Picks up the tank or anti-air there. Picks up that tank there, but still has the command anti-air. Lots of good kills there by Calder. He's cleaning through for 135, 152, so Calder has a pretty good advantage. The mech on the mountain can get a range shot onto that tank over there. The battleship's now veteran C2. Bomber heading its way forward. Medium tank. And nothing else. Command in here does take out the battlecopter there. I'm going to just take a turn by turn. Good strike there from the mech. And Will's got the booster strike there because it started its turn within this radius. And there as well. Of course, it's 3 health battlecopter, but that's extra damage there. Okay, it looks like projecting off get +1 range. Moving on also gets +1 range. Or wait. Nope, it was already in +1 range there. Out of curiosity. If this unit here moves here, yeah, it probably does not get the +1 range. Not so sure if it does, it doesn't. But now we've got a full CO power for Karat that can be very powerful. Flare strikes anti-air. Anti-air does get a boost strike there. Oh, looks like moving on. No, it was already on it. Rocket now in range, so it could get +2 range from right here, or +1 range here, or +2 range globally. The CO powers pop. Got Duster, mech, and anti-air. There's a lot of battlecopters, so the Duster's going to be very nice. Plus against the bomber would be very nice. Strikes there as well. Needs a good strikes. Takes out that medium tank. Battlecopter on battlecopter. Strikes the mech there. It does spot the rockets. Battleship gets back onto the harbor. Bomber creeps way forward, does not spot the Duster, it's not in hidden terrain, so just simply out of vision range. In theory, this Duster will be able to range the Bomber if it has spotting and with the CO power. No CO power, but now it is in range of the Bomber. Just a matter of spotting it, gets a good strike there. This is where Grot actually does work. Does get a melee strike there. Duster gets a strike on the Battlecopter, Battlecopter on the Battlecopter. Duster scores a kill there. Mech has a good strike there. Rocket manages to get an extra range shot on the command tank. Does finish off the tank there with the 3 health ranged mech. And finish off the Battlecopter with a Veteran C1 bike. This T-Copter has 7 fuel remaining. There's a T airport there. He may need an eye. Insert 137,000. Carter starts turn of 122, so Carter's slightly behind, but not too significant at this moment. Bomber does fall back. Carter has 20 military units in the field. Grot has 29, which is important. I see a loading unit back here, or I've this tank next turn. A lot of mechs in the field. Go for anti-air Battlecopter. Very forward, trying to get some forward repairs. Does put the temporary T-Copter on the temporary airport. This one's getting pretty low on fuel as well. May have been making very good use of these T-Copters, that's for sure. There's a bit of a reorg this turn, nothing too significant. Right now it's just day-to-day difference. Each day, or each turn, both players pull ahead of each other with the day-to-day income. Recon gets a nice pass there, does CO that tank. And looks like Calder just creeps before. Does put the bomb in temporary airport. Of course, can't hide there, but let's get a bit of refueling. Tank, and nothing else. Rocket strikes the recon. Mech pushes way forward up here. Does that mech 1 ammo remaining? Nothing too significant. Bomber, flare, bike. So now got a Grot bomber, which could be very useful for the plus increased range. Both sides posturing up. We may see one big conflict. And Grot's +2 range is going to be very significant if it gets popped. Tank anti-air Battlecopter. Calder definitely should start eyeing the play around the battleship. Let it provide its bombardment on the side he can control. Maybe start seizing the southern properties, because right now Grot has 25,000, Calder has 23. Big difference is the corner properties. But also Calder does have these 2 diagonal centers as a counterpart. Battlecopter infantry anti-air. And thus Calder has resigned. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And also, I probably should mention, it was Grot, Matamon, who's the one who submitted the replay to me. Thank you. Oh, not that button. Sorry about that. I don't know why today I've just been exhausted. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. So on top right side as the yellowish gray field, we've got Luzek. On bottom left side as the red Brenner, we've got Red Flower. Either way, when it comes to COs, Brenner is of course nerfed to the cartridge counterpart, 50% boarding cost, 3 radius, only 1 expansion 60 max energy. When it comes to day-to-day power or CO zone, plus some offense, plus 30% defense for direct units only. Of course, can make that global and provide 3 healing. This appears to be the cartridge gray field, which is the weaker of the weaker gray field variant, rather than the buff one that's available to Days of Tiny Wars. Got the standard boarding cost, 3 radius, 30, 60, 60. All units, of course, get the standard 10% offense defense. And for its naval units, seaplanes, and battlecopters in CO zone gets plus 10% offense and 40% defense. Of course, it can make that all global and also cover all fuel, ammo, and material, which may come important this map. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. So we got cartridge Greyfield, the weaker Greyfield, the more accurate Greyfield. This map is a 3-base map with an airport. Calm Tower over here. This is entirely short, so it's 100% traversable. But of course, no defense stars there. There's also double seaport and triple seaports for each side, so plenty of stuff there, of rig. Wait a second, is this High Funds map? I think this is High Funds map. Why rig? This is not the Tiny Wars Greyfield. Maybe we're gonna try to push forward this infantry unit there. Guess we'll find out soon enough. But it seems like a high 10,000 right now. Oh, did not capture that one. Excuse me one moment. I am a little bit paranoid. Is this High Funds? The more I look at it, the more I'm getting confused. Income 1,000. Yep, it went up by 2,000. So this is a High Funds map. So, a High Funds map. I've casted replays where they had some special High Funds properties, but never actually think I casted a High Funds game yet. We have no gray boat, gunboat there. It's also not a black boat either. In the center, Paul trying to claim up some comm towers. There are a decent number of comm towers, so 2 on the side, 2 in the middle, so both sides should get 2. Though the center comm towers are pretty easy to dominate. We do have recon and artillery here by Brenner. More gunboats pushing infantry units forward. Tank here, so bike, tank, infantry. We've gone pretty far forward. This comm tower has been claimed, and we do have... Oh, I just realized Brenner managed to actually get a submarine out here. Is he doing that just to block traffic? I think this is a speed bump sub. So Greyfield will need to pull out a cruiser to dislodge that. It's trapped. There is shores here, so this area is 100% traversable. Aircraft carrier. Okay, High Funds. High Funds is a completely different mindset entirely. And I just realized something as well. There is a shore right here preventing these seaports from dropping off units, as well as right here. You have to go for a rig here to unlock your seaport to push forward. Got it. So that's why there's another reason why the rig. I didn't slow down and take a look at the map, because I see also a good number of shores here as well. Oh, there's 4 ports, all of them blocked by shores. Landers, of course, can traverse it, but with this temporary seaport, Grayfield now has a... Was that a, yeah, it's got seaplanes. You can put the seaplane on top of the airport, which is still neutral, or on the HQ to get it CO'd. And he'll get 50% defense, Whalen level defense on his seaplanes. This might be the first game I ever casted with a seaplane. Granted, that's high funds in general. We've got also rigs here now trying to unlock the ports. Just view this as a weird shaped key, the anchor. Seaplane, only push a little bit forward. Got a submarine here. We got an artillery piece here. Can't do anything versus sub, but he's going to try to perhaps use sub versus sub. He may seal the sub. We have a sub over here as well. It is a yellow submarine, but I don't want to live in it. I'm a Mongol fox. I like the open land, open plains, mesas, mountains, not sea. No yellow submarine for me. Of course, artillery can't do much versus the submarine. Now the submarine is trapped there, if that means anything. Of course, got subs here within vision range. Of course, not identification range, but we do also have a roadblock here, so the sub can't pass this region. He will run himself into that sub there. So a lot of things are going on. A lot of artillery as well. There is a decent number of mountains here, so it will provide some good cover. Gunboat strikes gunboat. First naval engagement. You know, I'm so surprised the first naval engagement hasn't happened sooner. Red submarine. And we've got two tanks up here to stop this advance. Of course, it's got some artillery here. Letting move around. Gunboat push way forward. Maybe trying to be a bit of a bait. We now have a Grayfield battleship. He may load himself up there. Got a couple artillery up here as well. Gunboat strikes gunboat. Does not unload there. Seaplane strikes infantry there. And the sub finds the sub in a bad manner. Now he can be retaliated upon. He does not have a cruiser on the field just yet. Wait, he does have enough funds for a cruiser, right? How much would a cruiser cost again? 16. Yeah, he may need to go for a cruiser, seeing the submarine there. Does go with the cruiser there, so he will do some base skips. We got multiple seaplanes down south, but this anti-air is in possible range of this seaplane. Just a matter of taking out this tank here, which I don't... he will be able... No, yes, he can take out the tank there, pull back the bike, put the tank there. The anti-air can push forward and strike the seaplane. Seaplane does take a pretty good hit there. It may just need to fall back to the aircraft carrier. And we do have a Brenner fighter. He buffs, was it direct units or direct ground units? What was it again? Direct units entirely. And now got CO battleship. Cruiser push forward. Battleship sinks the gunboat and sinks the gunboat, giving 20 energy immediately. Anti-air, tank, infantry, and another cruiser. Tank strikes anti-air. A wounded seaplane did get to the aircraft here. This seaplane strikes the anti-air, knocking out. We do have a cruiser here, but it's surrounded by shores, so it's safe from cruiser attack. Seaplane is pretty low on fuel and ammo, so needs to fall back to the aircraft carrier as well. Seaplanes are meant to be played around the aircraft carrier, but they're very versatile and very strong. Does he got that tank there? And now got a battleship here. Wayland, or I've been saying Wayland. Greyfield has artillery up north. Brenner has a good naval force as well as own artillery. Right now, Greyfield has 189 versus 262, so it's very much in favor. Actually, no, with day-to-day funds, it's not very much in favor. Greyfield's something slightly behind. Right now, the income's 46 for the 54. Here's as well. Let's see. Could Peninsula one shot there. Looks like the seaplane is stronger than is pretty good in damage. I know tanks, mechs, and battlecopters have the same firepower, but it looks like seaplanes do have higher firepower. They may have medium tank firepower. And the rig does resupply the seaplane there, so it does not need to go with the aircraft carrier. And the rig can take a hit or two. Battleship does strike the cruiser, but of course got Greyfield's battleship is in range. We've got a missile ready to hunt down and track civilian airliners. Multiple bombers now being deployed on the field, so Brenner's transitioned to bombers. Flare infantry. Good artillery strike there. Anti-air push up north. Lander up more up north. Gunboat or cruiser strikes gunboat. Cruiser strikes submarine. Battleship strikes tank. Whoa. He had full vision of this battleship. I'm not sure why he didn't strike that battleship. Well, there's also that reason why. And of course, these two ships are in harbor, so they're not spotted. I suppose the submarine's pretty good at taking out battleships. And Greyfield almost has superpower, which is not going to be super useful, honestly. He can make his good naval defense and battlecopter and seaplane defense global, but not really worth consuming an entire turn of a battleship for that. It's probably best just to not deploy the superpower unless the battleship is wounded, falling back, or in transit to another location. Cruiser strikes and sub. Bomber takes up the anti-air. And Brenner's fire has not taken out that unit there. It does get good strikes there on the seaplane, knocks it out. At 32 inches, so his plus does not have +1 expansion because he's Tiny Wars Brenner. Battlecopter tank. Infantry. Oh, cruiser gets trapped on that 1 health submarine. Seaplane strikes the bomber. Seaplane strikes the battlecopter with a boost attack from the CO zone and will one-shot the battlecopter. Battleship, artillery, tank, anti-air. Got artillery range in the anti-air, so that anti-air is going to be knocked out, and maybe the bike as well. Does have the missile strike the seaplane, knocks it out there with the fighter. Some good kills there. Bomber takes out there. Looks like Greyfield's just disintegrating up here. Has nothing to stop the bomber, and not mention all the other supporting infantry in it. Takes out that cruiser. Anti-air gets a good strike there on the seaplane. Right now, Brenner has a value of 259,000. Greyfield has 209. Of course, both players still need day-to-days. So Brenner's in an extremely good position there, and almost at 50 units. Usually the unit cap is 50, but that may not be the case on this map. Got a good strike there. Seaplane, what's left of it, did get trapped. Ooh. This is supported by a CO zone, so plus 50% defense versus Brenner's plus 30% defense, plus CO power zone itself, or CO unit, which is 65 defense. So not too terrible strike there. Definitely cost effective. Seaplanes are 15,000. Fighters, of course. Oh, pops a superpower. Did not expect that. So now he does have a global benefits for his naval and sea units, which also right now plus 50% defense globally for his naval units can be very nice if he's worried about a counterattack. Missile takes out that seaplane. Bomber now clears the far side of that harbor. And now we do have these forces of 24. They only have plus 10. And Brenner has a CO power as well, which he could pop it for a bit of global appearance, which we use for his command fighter and for this bomber. As some various infantry, pops it. Now the artillery, another fighter, gunboat, tank, and tank. Brenner right now has 60,000 income, Greyfield is 44, and has nearly twice the value with in the hundreds of thousands. Battleship will strike battleship. Brenner's battleship is not too particularly great. In fact, they're not great at all with the CO power. Pretty sure that classifies indirects, even though they can move and shoot at the same turn. Got a missile, anti-air missile, double missile, so he's really concerned about his opponent's aircraft. There's a submarine, the yellow submarine. It's actually more close to brown, but this profile picture is definitely yellow. Try to flip some more properties over here. Yeah, Brenner's just being hyper aggressive north. He's in the minimum range of the missile there as well. 8 years actually out of range. Greyfield's on 191. Brenner's now at 410. Both with gunboat there, gets good strike on the cruiser. Rockets fires away, giving him +1 CO zone. Missile does strike the fighter there, but since Brenner's CO fighter, it had plus 65% defense. Bomber nukes the missile. Artillery gets on top of the base as well, and nothing much you can do to stop that. The battleship may be able to range it. Over on the right side. Oh, hitting the lander now. Just plus the anti-air. Seaplanes at full health. Another battleship, fighter, infantry, anti-air tank. Missile strikes the battle cover, but thanks to it being a direct unit, it managed to sustain some damage. And what was... Look at this. All the maxed out efficiency and the CO zone from Brenner allowed that bomber to defend itself quite well. Now got a war tank up north. You have another CO power available for Greyfield, but it's not going to be super useful, honestly. Got a tank and something else got deployed in the field. Excuse me. Seaplanes getting gunned down the various units. Hits the rocket there. Does spot the submarine there with a 1 health gunboat, and both of Greyfield's rockets up here did get struck. His command battleship is getting hit there as well, his flagship. Greyfield's flagship is down to 1 health, so to fall back, pop the CO power. War tank gets struck by the bomber. Let's see, got a gunboat cruiser. Greyfield's down 144, and Brenner's at about 430. 432. Pops the CO power. Does get some good shots there. Gets good shot on the ace fighter. Fighter does go down, gets shot down by the carrier of all things, because it does have anti-air weapons, not super great ones. Another duster there, and Greyfield has resigned. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. Apologies, I'm back. Let's see now. Not that button. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars Daisy Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the right side as the blue Penny, we've got Yukazi. Spawn on the left side as the red Force, we've got Come Swallower. Very delightful name. Something I think I may have made a mistake last time I cast this map. This infantry unit right here is unweighted. Or not unweighted, it's fully weighted. So the first turn, the player 1 can't do anything there. Player 2 has 2 unweighted infantry here as a counterpart. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport, and of course a pair of comm towers and radar stations, though this does not appear to be a Fog of War map. Or match, I should say. I should mention what the COs do. Force Civ is unchanged for the cartridge counterpart, 50% boarding cost, 5 radius, no expansion, no energy, and provides a nice even +20/+20 for all units. Penny, of course, is slightly buffed from the cartridge counterpart, has 50% boarding cost, 3, 30, 60, 60, and of course all units unaffected by weather, and now the CO zone provides, rather than +10/+10, provides +15/+15, and the weather is set for 3 turns permanently. When it comes to the weather from this superpower, it can be very powerful and do a powerful chain effect where you get enough effects of the weather to continuously make grand weather happen. Generally, I would say on maps that are not Fog of War, rain is actually particularly effective since you won't likely see flares in the field. Though Force Civ can go for some flares on this since he's fighting against Penny. Sandstorm is always quite nice, -30% firepower against all your opponent's units for 3 turns, effectively having CO power for 3 turns, which is very good. And what else is there? Of course, you've got Snow, reduced movement speed of everything by 1, which can be quite nice. It's a little bit more situational and depends on what type of units opponents have. If your opponents go out mechs, then they're going to move 1 tile, which is particularly nasty. This map also is filled with a bunch of puddles, a lot of stagnant water here. We've got some rivers, or pond, really, and of course got some beaches here, a sandy pond. There's also a decent number of forests here. Remember as well, in Daisy Ruin, forests provide 3 stars, while cities provide 2 stars. You see some decent number of bikes that have been put on the field. Force Civ can be loaded with any sort of unit since it doesn't have to worry about a CO power charge. You can put a more of a disposable unit just to drive around and start buffing stuff, or he can just be sealed into something a little bit stronger so at least that unit gets its max vet status. Side loads himself from the bike, not a bad idea. Probably should move this guy down south to provide the aura effect there. Bit of an oversight, got recon. It's funny how Stormfront gives these radars a purpose for this match. I don't think a radar will having additional vision range if there is Penny's rain, because that may just reduce still down to 1. After all, Granite Force on all tiles becomes 0. So yeah, radars I don't think will do anything in rain. They will have just same core range as cities. That'll sack our unit there. Does not fall up there. It has 16 energy. Has a tank nearby. So Penny decides to put herself to a bike, just trying to drive around with some CO charge. And of course, being loaded up with such a cheap unit, she doesn't care if she loses a turn with that unit when popping CO power. And Penny's a CO that you probably want to pop your superpower as immediately as you get it. Force Civ's making some good engagement across the board. Has now 54 versus 38, so turn-to-turn day-to-day differences. But can the differences be reconciled? Probably not. This is the wrong type of game for that sort of thing. Thinking up north, we do have Force Civ tank up here, so the Force Civ's recon may need to fall back. sacks that unit there, which will not interrupt the capture. Had 4 capture progress remaining. Forceps command bike is actually pushed forward. And right now Penny does now 30 energy, so get +1 radius. Being hyper aggressive for Syphilis. Not afraid to sack some units. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. Forces command bike will go down. He can load himself up any of these units. Probably the tank or the battlecopter. Could be loaded from this infantry unit there. Getting some good progress over here. Does kill off that bike. Both contracts are still not captured. This one will be captured next turn though. Game for RSF +5/+5. It does seal the infantry unit there, so it's going for just a quick aura benefit. There's good strikes there. And Penny's at 59 energy, so she just needs 1 more energy, she will get her CO power. Okay, the heavy rain though, lowering the radar's vision to 1 seems rather harsh. Maybe lowering to from 5 to 3 or 2 would be reasonable, you say. Let's find out. Oh, Sandstorm, so we won't find out. But now Penny has got her Sandstorm going, which is pretty devastating. It provides, of course, a -20 or -30% global, 30% offense global for 3 turns. I mentioned she has for +15/+15 this turn. Forces has to be taking very good engagements from now on. The Sicilio zone can help counter out a decent amount of it, but not perfect. I'm just reading what also the 2 tools said when it comes to radar station. It says reduce down to 0. It suggests to me radar will be completely worthless. It's a weather radar station. It has found the rain. Tank there. So we've got another 4 Sivs tanks. Battlecraft strike test tank there. Does not finish off that tank there. Down 6% health. Thought that would have been a kill. It's on top of a Miss on Planes, which is 2 stars rather than 1. Anti-air. Tank. What's his name? Talking about Cum Swallower? Or Yukazi? Let's see the battlecopter there. By the way, for those who are probably watching the replay in YouTube later on, I'm probably not going to say this name. It's probably going to be like name bracket swallower. Tank, bike, and tank. So good strikes there. Right now, Penny's at 29 energy. She's pretty close to her next power charge already. I know in one of my Couple Heroes 1 games I casted was Did You Fuck My Wife? I actually put that name title there. It actually got age restricted with that name. Take anti-air infantry. Some good kills there. Anti-air moves over here. 39 energy. She's pretty close to getting another CO power. Very, very close now. I don't think Forza can range the bike there. We've got a river there, so the tank can't drive over there. Penny right now has 79,000 versus 58, so she's making pretty good headway. And 1 last turn for Sandstorms. And the next turn she will get her sleep power and go for another weather. Nope. Put a note in the comment. What do you think the weather's going to be? She has her power. And today's weather is snow. which is probably the most tolerable of the three right now. Plus, one movement speed is a bit of a problem, but she's now charging way forward. Of course, has plus 15, plus 15 global. Force is now at 52 energy. Does not have a CO zone, CO unit on the field. May just load himself onto this anti-air. Loads up himself inside the tank. Takes out one anti or battle copter there. Takes out that unit there. Remember as well, plus 15% defense this turn. Battle copter infantry. I suppose Apocalypse Snow, more like Ragnarok Snow. After all, Ragnarok is fire rims the sky while the world freezes over. Lots of good kills there. Of course, Forsyth's reinforcement is going to be slow going for the next 3 turns. And Penny has quite a bit of death ball. Already has 30 energy, ready for a next bit of weather forecast. Oh, I forgot all the Mr. Bear jokes. My apologies. His strikes there right now. Forsyth does actually have a bit higher income, but got a flip here. Penny's going to do a flip. Does not take out the tank there. Oh, doesn't see how much health I have left. ATR finished off that one. Battle for the Rules, strike the command tank. ATR gets struck. Nice little merge there. Command tank has gone down. Paul just seal the infantry unit next turn. Never mind, can't seal the infantry unit anymore. Yeah, it feels like Penny started running away with the game. She'll probably start eyeing for the HQ capture. She also has enough CO power for her next bit of weather. CO's the tank there. Good strike. And here does not go down. Battlecopter goes down. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. And got some more sandstorm. Decides to pop the weather early. And a lot of good kills there. Forsyth down to 40,000 versus Penny's 89 plus her day-to-day. So she's on over 100,000. Forsyth's days a little bit numbered. Minor strikes here and there, but of course with minus 30% firepower plus 10-15% defense this turn, it's hard to make any progress in this weather. Also, I hate sand. People always say it's a meme, the Anakin meme, but nobody's ever said why he's wrong. I thought that anti-air there would try to take a shot against that battlecopter. Oh, it's out of ammo. It's always nice to see a unit out of ammo, because it's always difficult to make a unit get out of ammo. Unless it's a gunboat. But it's always nice to see that out of ammo. It means it got a good shot off, hopefully. Tank, bike. But yeah, I think Forsyth's just playing out to the last. So the capture progress there. She does not have enough power for another seal power, but the game's ultimately over. Borsic's now down 27,000. Penny will have over 130,000 this turn. Does not interrupt the capture any further on that bike. Does do a joint capture there. So right now it has 5 capture progress remaining, with everything else being disintegrating. Won't be able to take out this medium tank this turn probably. Though there are 2 tanks nearby and a wounded battlecopter. The wounded battlecopter does have 2 ammo remaining. Does not take out that unit there. Of course, it's Penny's command bikes to capture the HQ, so we probably won't see any more weather this turn or game. Just finish the game, capture, and double rig to end the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on the next replay. Oops, not that button. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. As well on bottom right side as the blue Will, we got Mibster Bear. Spawn on top left side as the red Tasha, we got Come Swallower. When it comes to COs, Tasha of course is buffed from the Cartridge counterpart. Does have same boarding cost, wound radius 30, 60, and 60, so small radius. She gets off 10% offense defense for all units. Air units get plus additional 40% offense and 20% defense. And also get plus 2 movement range, so her air units going to be able to strike deep and strike pretty hard. And for a superpower, it does provide a staggering plus 4 movement for all air units. Will is of course the same for the Cartridge counterpart, has standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 60, 60. Offers the plus 10% offense defense for all units, and of course get additional plus 20% offense for ground direct units, so tanks. And of course for his superpower, it does get plus 2 movement range on all direct ground units, such as tanks. Oh, hopefully it's a good one then. And of course, there's additional number of properties you start out with, so both players are able to go straight for bikes and utilize the roads. It is a triple base map or an airport, and a decent amount of roads in the top, middle, and bottom middle part of the map, allowing decent view to play, at least able to get out of the base. Both players still just building up bikes, not big surprise. Handful infantry there to make sure you don't base skip. We could see an interrupt here, or yeah, we could see interrupt there, but maybe not. Just capture the property, it's probably a good idea. Of course, triple base, it'll take a bit of time before you start seeing anything else than bikes, but looks got a single base skip here, saving 35,000. Or from base skips, effectively you need at least, in order to get a tank out of the field and base, not base skip, you need at least 10,000 income. If you want a battlecopter not base skip, you need what? 1350. Or 13,500, I should say. Tank. So we got double tank there by Tasha. Will has not deployed out any tanks yet. He will need to respond with probably tanks of his own. Good eye for battle copter this turn. And Tasha has deployed the split for tanks both directions. Or at least the deployment both directions. And looks like will counter the same tank deployment. And an infantry unit. Interrupts the capture there. Gets another good first strike there. And double artillery by Tasha. That's interesting. Got the bike wars. Does not finish off the 1 or 2 health bike there with a 5 health bike, but he's rotating some more bikes in the center as well as a command tank. Tasha's not got a command unit in the field. With another bikes in the field, maybe a command duster wouldn't be half bad. Well, at least command battle copter would be nice. Tank infantry. Will's tank does get a one shot there. Very nice. Looks like Tasha is going to lose property up here. Right now it's 16 versus 16,000. Will's getting some decent power charge. Got +1 radius as well. And this tank is pretty well behind a good number of units, but we do have 2 wounded bikes there. Could broke it through, then tank hit up and follow in. Like that. And we do now have Tasha tank there. Not a great unit for to load herself up into. Will's command tank has to get a shot, has received a hit there, and got artillery now pushed in the center as well, so Tasha's starting to ball up with force. No battle copter from her just yet, or from either side. Both sides, strangely enough, has 55,600, exact the same. Never mind, got interrupted now. So Will looks like he's ahead by about a turn. Tasha's tank does get a good shot there, and artillery gets some good shots as well, getting up to 24 energy. And made some pretty good gains in the center of the map there. Tank infantry. Will does pop a superpower. I didn't realize he had a superpower available. I missed that part. So now he gets +2 movement range on direct ground units, which includes infantry. Many good hits there. Tank to start hitting these other tanks, but Tasha has a very large force of tanks here. Strikes one of the artillery there. Strikes both artillery. Very nice. But Tasha still has a pretty good core of tanks here. Man, take the side, get a strike there, getting +1 radius as well. Does not finish off that unit there. Tank and double mech. So no air units whatsoever so far this game. So currently right now it's just generic +10% firepower CO versus direct units get a good firepower bonus CO. Both of these artillery, no, this one is in range and got 5 and 4 health, so they will get a good volley there. Tasha's command tank is taking some hits there. No CO energy there. She probably should have pulled our tank up there. It does do merge, and now it gets a little bit energy. 68 versus 48, so she's starting to fall pretty far behind. Tank, mech. And all of a good number of wheels things do fall back. Tasha's pretty good core tanks in the center, and maybe these properties are a little bit exposed. Maybe she's able to squeeze some bikes go up there. Finish off that one tank there. She's at now 49 energy. Our command tank seems safe enough. She could get her superpower this turn, but it would be just +10 global. She does not have any aircraft in the field. She may want to add to pull out battle copter this turn. As you command tank there to get a good strike, does do a bit of a merge. Don't care about Razor Synapse, go away. And does go for Battlecopter infantry. Her command tank could go down this turn. Will gets his superpower activated there. It's a +2 movement range for all direct ground units. Does merge his command tank. Get some good picks there. Command tank took a good strike there. 5 health tank. Finish off Tasha's command tank. The +2 move range, able to range it. And since Tasha's not to pull it out, only got now Battlecopter now. She's been playing not to her strengths this entire game. I think just CO having herself just seal into a Battlecopter would have been just quite nice. We'll probably go for an anti-air bike. Artillery gets a good strike there. Finish off the infantry unit there. Does not see herself into the Battlecopter. Tank. Good strike on some of these mechs. Tank bike. Does see herself open to a tank there. This mech can get a boost strike off from the city. 10% booster strike. But her Battlecopter does get that either way, which is probably pretty good. Down to 43,000 versus 90. Tank bike. Command Battlecopter gets a good strike there on that tank. And looks like our CO unit does get a pick there. But only at 9 inches so far. And we've just got full mech spam by Tasha. Will has more than double income and has more than double in the field. So at this point in time, things are just slow death for Tasha. That's about the superpower there, getting +2 movement range. Just overall very solid, good tank gameplay by Will as well. I was fighting to tank up north. And of course, just a bunch of units pushing way forward. This game's ultimately over. Nope, goes for a bomber. This is not a second aircraft this game. Somehow. Even in a game without Tasha, there would be by now more than just 2 aircraft. Goes for our tank, mechs move around, more mechs. And of course, rocket, battlecopter, it doesn't really matter what he will deploys at this point in time. The game is ultimately over. Pops a super powerful Will once again, getting additional firepower, able to quickly clean up everything. And that is the end of the replay. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now. Let's try to find something a little bit more entertaining than that one. And let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advance Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawned on the soft side as, or just left side as, the green Cassie. We got Yoshi Rider. Spawned on the right side as a red Grot. We got large underscore nuggets. When it comes to the COs, both of these are custom COs. We got the standard boarding cost 2 radius 30 60 60. Cassie is the veteran CCO. She has plus 20% offense, plus 10% defense, and units in the CO zone get 1 additional level of promotion when destroying an enemy unit. Of course, it does provide that all globally, and then of course all units get plus 1 level of promotion immediately. So anytime a unit gets killed during a superpower, they will get max out veterancy. Brat is the range, how to put it, has 50% boarding cost, 0 radius, 20 50 50. So she does get her power and superpower, or her superpower much more earlier, as well as her expansion. She provides plus 10% offense defense, and of course her units, primarily initially her CO unit, gets plus 1 max range. I generally think it's better to go for Intier for Grat. She doesn't have to have firepower like Tabata to get her CO zone expanded. Even if Tabata has a higher requirement, it's easier for Tabata to get her plus 1 expanded CO zone. Grat, if she gets loaded up on Antier, she'll be able to pick off infantry units at range and then allow her to get some really good value out of her CO zone once it gets plus 1 expansion. And of course, when she pops her superpower, all units get plus 2 max range. So, let's go get started. Oh yeah, this map does have dual strike count towers, which they provide 10% offense and no defense. Also, Cass uses a very not IDS terminology for it, which I don't think that's fitting. And same thing there. Just a brief explanation. This map is a triple base map of one airport. There's also some meteorites there to block the path. Which this one sort of looks like to me, just probably how the tiles work, but this looks like still a river underneath, based on how the rivers are moving towards it. But this one you can see here is a bit flat, like it's a plains underneath. I'm always assuming there are plains underneath, but it is Days of Ruin. They have a little bit more additional tiles that's not available in the Cartridge counterpart. Additionally, there's a decent number of beaches here, so these are traversable, but wastelands make it hard to traverse even with tracked units. And if you take a slow down and take a look here, this is a beach, so sea units can't traverse there. You got a sea tile, then another shore, then you got a bridge with a shore, and then another shore here. So very inhospitable for sea units. They can be useful around here, but there's actually not too much coverage there as well. So this is mostly meant for gunboat, lander play. Maybe an aircraft carrier, but probably no battleships. An aircraft carrier could give forward seaplanes. But aircraft carriers are not exactly cheap either. Got a recon right here. I've heard that from some other players, like such as Mengs, that he actually prefers like dual strike column towers, providing plus 10% offense rather than 5% offense and defense. It's more or less counteract each other, while plus 10% offense allows a bit more power plays to happen. Best buy rigs and crazy then? Probably not. Because that'll be I suppose one rig here would allow it to get right here with a battleship, which would start providing some defense coverage. But then, probably not. It's a really stupid question. Another stupid question. Since rigs can only pull out temporary seaports and beaches, can you pull out a temporary air or seaport on a beach or bridge on beach? Because it's not a tile that actually exists in Dual Strike, or not Dual Strike, Days of Ruin. So I have no idea. Not like that really matters. Do you have a flare and recon up north? Recons and flares both have good infantry capability. Got artillery and tank down here for Cass, so she's probably gonna load herself up in this tank. AT over here. And as well, the HQ is right there as well. Presume not. It's one of those things that if most time, yeah, I have no idea. I wonder if I were to strike the looks like gonna take time to destroy this little meteorite. Give me a moment, I'm curious. Beach here, build points 20 out of 20. I'm assuming that's meant for temporary, so that determines what temporary seaports. I don't see the build time there, so it looks like probably not. Wait. Okay, that's just, they just also have the Chinese names. Sorry. That's my best way to determine whether or not my stupid idea actually does or does not. Or try to answer my own question. I do have a battlecopter up here. Flare and Recon up here can get some good engagements. Got grass tank here. Oh, remember, sometimes I always say slow down and read the terrain. You got beach and beach here. So, the tank is in range. Because the shore tiles do see quite a bit of gap there. And last time I checked, you should generally try to avoid fjording stuff, because Oregon Trail taught me some things. It's rarely ever a good idea to fjord a river. Plus, a lot of RTSs, they may have amphibious units, but usually the amphibious part is actually still very not a good idea. Like a Steel Division or a war game. ATR does get a nice recon pass there. Cass is at 9 energy. Artillery and tank forward, recon, ATR and recon. Do have a Grot tank up here, but I think everything's out of range. Maybe try to get into on top of the city there to stage itself for a counterattack. Up goes the recon. Excuse me, recon got there. Tank will get a good strike in the ATR, allowing her battlecopter to push forward. ATR gets knocked out by the flare. And now got artillery, tank. Both these meteorites still exist while Cass is cleaning up this one. Cass brings back her tank at 17 energy, make that 20 energy. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Gunboat gets struck, gunboat gets gunned down, and try to go for the HQ capture. It will not be successful. Got 2 units there, plus a battlecopter nearby. Some got trapped down here. I think maybe the infantry unit there. Both players don't have too much energy, but Grass pretty close, getting our +1 range, which is very important. Does interrupt the capture, and battlecopter strikes the battlecopter. Some ATRs up here. This tank force can tally upon this tank here, and Cassie is actually lacking a bit of assets down south. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. So she's struck this ATR there. She may think it's safe enough to bring the battlecopter over here. Right now, Grot is at 91,000, Cass in turn of 94, so but Grot still has a day-to-day, so she's slightly ahead at the moment. And trying to flip some properties. Still, some properties are still despicably neutral, such as this city there. 22 for 21, so that's only a property in contention for an even split. Cass does not get her +1 radius, so maybe we should try to find a better target there to get her up to 20. Once she gets that, she can get some really good plays done. Let's get some good kills there. 23 energy. Nothing too significant for Cass at the moment either. There's some energy for her. I'll get +1 radius. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Pike. Oh, Oh, artillery gets trapped there. In range of this artillery. Gets trapped there as well. Oof. Not looking good for Grat that turn. Cass is behind Grat by approximately 17,000 funds, but with double trap there, Cass should get quite a bit of work done this turn. Probably should have pushed forward the CO unit there to get some CO power charge. Cast that +1 radius, which is always quite nice. Grat still has quite a bit of stuff down here, and she of course lost her CO unit. She can always CO this gunboat if she so chooses. Don't do that. It's a joke. Now see what Meng's meant with the old comm tower system. Like if you capture an enemy comm tower, it'll be rather drastic 20% offense change, which makes it quite interesting. Another mention as well, when both sides get plus times offense and defense, it effectively cancel each other out, which is not very impactful. It means you capture them just so you don't get a debuff, basically. When you get additional firepower, it does change the dynamics of some of the engagements, less able to wall break a little bit more easily. Like, for example, this ATR putting that infantry unit down 1% health. So in this case, both players, that would be still the same case, would have 3 defense stars, so it's a little bit different there as well. Oh, and Grat does see herself up into a battlecopter. Lots of good kills there. Casts that 50 energy, but her CO unit, of course, has moved this turn. So no CO power this turn, or next turn. Spike could just simply back out the way. Grat still has quite a bit of force here, but costs some reinforce, and now at 129,000 versus 83 starting. Of course, she's out day to day, but she's about a turn behind now. Gets some flips there though, so now it's evened out 22-22. Gets trapped. ETR strikes out, takes out the battlecopter. Got another battlecopter still down here. Gets trapped on the infantry unit there. Spots this tank there, and now both this tank battlecopter, yeah, all these units going to disintegrate. I think that's one time Grat's starting going to disintegrate down south. It was too aggressive there, and now going to be effectively ambushed. Only her artillery piece up here does get CO power go there. And here's the thing as well, when it comes to CO power, she should move her units first off the bases, then deploy to get those new units at 1 level of veterancy as well. A common mistake for Cass. But you can see a lot of max out vet units there. Only artillery piece is a valuable unit down to right here, with tank back here. This flank is disintegrated, though Grat does have some units up here, but there's a good number of possible units to counter. And I mentioned they're all pretty much max vetted now. The max out veterancy plus the 20% offense, 10% defense made her lose a duel. I mentioned the planes defense. Good power charge there. Got a rocket now floating field. Got a couple of this good strike. Artillery gets trapped there, so that's a dead artillery piece. That one medium tank maybe will just one-shot it, and gets trapped there as well. A lot of traps there. Making good progress up north. Got multiple tanks here, but of course, Haas has plenty to deal with them up there. Down south, Pass is starting to really steamroll. Fudge side for the HQ capture. Rocket will help her lock down this shore. That shore for sure. Shore. That joke was not going anywhere. That's now at 9 energy. Good 1-2 tap there. Took out the command copter. Cass is maybe being a little bit too defensive. Has good vision of the area, but can never be too careful, especially when you're just trying to focus down south. Flare maybe almost out of ammo. Then I'll just get on top of the city there. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Let's get a good strike there. Oh, the bike does get trapped there. Spots the command tank. Not enough energy. Oh, putting that tank there would give Cass enough energy to potentially get her superpower. But she does move the command tank there. CO power is now available for Cass. Decides not to take out the 8 health tank. Does get out there with a medium tank. And grass turn. Really just trying to get in range to protect the HQ. Of course, got the command tank in this region. Gets good strike in the infantry unit there. Onto a missile platform in range of this artillery piece, and that command tank will go down this turn. Cast superpower there. Did manage to pull out the units and then get the power going, so got the emergency one all the fresh units. Boat receives a good shot there. Artillery out of range. Medium tank pushing down south. Medium tank here is actually pretty low on ammo. Down to 2 ammo. Make that 1 ammo. You think it's a good strike there. Finish off the artillery piece. Battlecopter may finish off the gunboat, or that tank will. Decopter infantry tank. Tank does some strikes up north. Grat's turn. Right now she has 46,000 fuel. Cass has 211. The game is effectively over. Oh, 5 health infantry's going to try to capture the HQ. Will take a little bit of extra time. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, medium tank. Cass is getting pretty close to another superpower. 48 energy, just need 12 more. And we got a bomber to finish off the game. Might as well. She also has 30,000 income versus 14. And artillery mech. HQ has 10 capture progress remaining. Now I'll make that 5. Does get trapped there. Infantry on top of the mountain. And still, these rockets still here. Generally would destroy at least one of them to get on out. In this case, this one's probably the better one to destroy. This one means if you have to go this way, you have to, or when you go up, you have to go spend time going up and around. But if you destroy this one, you immediately get out and go down, or immediately down here, or immediately go over here. So it's probably best to destroy this one. This one, destroying it is not needed whatsoever. Because in this game, there's no Pythagorean theorem. Because everything's grid space, because going 1, 2, 3, or go 1, 2, 3, like how to put it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably a horrible way to put it. Pythagorean theorem only matters if you go diagonal. And there's no diagonal in this game. And just capture HQ and just call it done. And that is the end of the replay. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I have enough energy in with me for one more replay tonight, and guess what? I only have one more replay I just quickly scouted out today. So let's take a look at it. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. So on the bottom right side, as the dark gray hawk, we have a foreign name. On top left side, as the orange star or red Cyrus, we've got Benchwarmer 2. To be honest, I can't tell you if this is orange or red. It can also go either way. Either way, when it comes to COs, Cyrus is technically a custom CO, even though he is a character in the game. 50% boarding cost, 3, 30, 60, 60, so standard radius and expansion. He does provide plus 15 offense defense like Penny, but his superpower is a little bit more in depth. You get, of course, plus 15% offense defense global. Your CO unit gets reverted back to unleveled status. Your CO unit gets maybe reboarded to any unweighted unit with no boarding costs, and of course, you also can fire a weak missile silo. But it is also one of your choice. Hawk is, of course, a character from previous games, 50% boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 70, 120. So he has 3 expansion COs and also a massive power bar, just like in any other Advanced Wars game. He provides a mix of the day-to-day default of 10% offensive defense for all units in CO zone, and also provides his own personal plus 10% from his previous games on offense only. Of course, he does apply that for his Black Wave to get plus that global, plus 1% HP and minus 1 HP to all units at 50 energy cost, so it does drive pretty quickly. Or his superpower, which does cost 100, does this plus 20, plus 10 global, as well as 2 health restoration and minus 2 health to enemy units. Generally as well, you see 50 and 50 and 100, and you do keep leftover power charge with no negatives. So it is generally, in my opinion, better to go for multiple Black Waves, so you get multiple global plus 20, plus 10, get more use of that effect. Additionally, if you do go for your Black Storm, you can actually go over 120 energy, so you can help get a rebate of 20 energy or hold over up to 20 energy after your full superpower. So he can do a lot of power plays. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. I'm not sure, I may have missed what you were meaning about the change or difference. Though then again, some of the COs I do say they're unchanged or changed, but it's hard to say. Sorry, I sort of missed part of the conversation. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport, as well as a pair of calm towers. There's also a decent number of shores and rivers, aka a bunch of puddles with or without sand. And also got these larger puddles with a bit of sea, salty seas. That's probably where Nessie's located at. Both players going for a decent amount of infantry, as well as some bikes being pulled on out. Some things to know as well when it comes to terrain. Ruins only provide 1 defense star, and they are equal to planes when it comes to movement. So they provide not great movement, while the Mist on Plains does provide 2 defense stars. So these are better terrains than this terrain. You ignore this terrain existing when there's no fog of war, because it means absolutely nothing compared to plains. There is a river, sort of, pond there next to the calm tower, which makes it a little bit difficult to reach it. And now Cyrus has loaded himself up into a bike. He can always tech up his CO unit by getting CO powers, so loading up into a cheaper unit, one that can just go around providing buffs and generate power charge, not a bad concept. Hawk would like to load himself up in this tank there. Yes, he did. Plus 45, plus 45%. Of course, 10% of that is from the 1 defense star of the ruins. Comparison here, plus 35%, plus 45%. Of course, 1 defense star of that is of the ruins. And also, he does have a Hawk does have a calm tower, while Cyrus does not. And Cyrus's counter did get interrupted. He is going to try to secure it, but he's going to need to take time to secure it. We do have artillery piece here to protect his flank, so pushing forward the tank, command tank forward like that's not a great idea. Pushing up north is a better option. Tank, infantry, tank. Artillery heading down south. It does take, oh, it does not take the big spike there. He does leave at 9% health, so it's not even close. Picks off that 4 health infantry unit there. 8-year battlecopter. That's odd. Red card does actually remind me of Red Star cards from Super Famicom Roar. I'm pretty sure that's actually technically, I think they renamed Red Star to Orange Star when it came to Advanced Wars 1 because the term Red Star means, well, Soviet, communism, all that sort. And when it comes to unit design, Orange Star is supposed to be the US hardware, while Blue Moon is the Russian hardware, Soviet hardware mostly. Yellow Comet, or is of course the World War II Japanese hardware, and of course Green Earth is a mix of both British and German hardware. Mostly German, but a bit of British. After all, Drake is definitely supposed to be British. I mean, he summons rain. You can't be any more British than him. And also British, Navy, yeah, definitely. Rain and Navy, that's definitely British. Apparently as well, I've been told in the reboot camp, they renamed Yellow Comet to Gold Comet. Because, why? DEI can't have the Japanese be called Yellow. Which in any other game would be probably makes sense, but this is of course a Japanese game, so yes. Of course, in both Advanced Wars by Web and, of course, Days of Ruin, they have a little bit more color palettes. In this case, in Tiny Wars, I should say, offer just basic color palette swaps. Well, Advanced Wars by Web actually did implement a whole new, like, color scheme designs with actually a bit more drastic changes, like Cobalt Blue being penguin people. Not familiar with exactly Yellow Ranger as a term. Something I'll finally look up. This probably know what it is, just need a bit of a reminder. But we do have a decent amount of tanks here, 8-year battlecopter, infantry. Hawk doesn't have too much ship here, just a tank and artillery. The artillery could just plant itself behind this river there for a bit of coverage. Of course, Hawk does have a decent force here, including triple tanks, battlecopter, and 8-year, with another tank right in reserve. This battlecopter should head up north, does head up north. You just have to snipe the 8-year, so the battlecopter more free reign, such as at the opposing battlecopter. Cyrus has an turn of 80 or 98,000. Hawk starts turn to 95, so Hawk does have a slight advantage at the moment. Wait, now think about it. Is Yellow Ranger involving the Power Rangers? Not sure. First thing came to mind when I heard that term. Anti-air battlecopter. Oh, and also got a base skip there. Not enough money for a infantry unit. Till we head up north. You have this anti-air there. This wall can be broken with that 5 of infantry in there, but nothing really exploited. Hawk rotates his command take up north, so we're going to see both sides line up for a big fight here. This has 23 energy, Hawk has 15, and things will charging forward to get power charge. Will probably result in not deploying the superpower or power of that turn. Both would have very powerful power. Cyrus, of course, can fire a missile silo doing 2 damage in a small radius, a weak missile silo. While Hawk, of course, can do 1 and or 2 damage global, likely 1 damage global. 100 energy is a pretty tall order, but given the size of the front lines, it's actually quite feasible to get a Black Storm. If Hawk gets struck by Cyrus's power first, of course he can partially heal it back, assuming he's still alive afterwards. And Cyrus's unit is inside of a bike, which is easy piece picked up, but also not important of spending its turn attacking, just fall back and pop its power. Looks like both players are rotating upwards to 1 to 4 corners of this earth. Take that, globe cards. Anti-air, infantry, anti-air. And now got a war tank by Cyrus, so that's going to be what he's going to either reload the CO unit into with his superpower. We can also help him break the stalemate. Got a good amount of battle coppers and tanks by Hawk. Cyrus also has a good number of battle coppers and tanks, but 1 anti-air. Both sides starting to mix in some more anti-airs. Got 2 anti-airs here. When did that happen? Because I was growing up, there's always been a Yellow Ranger. I think the only Power Ranger I've watched was the bit of the Ninja, then the Dino, and then of course the Magic one. There was also the Copper one, which all had Yellow Rangers, right? I don't know. People find a reason to complain about everything. And all those actors were white, weren't they? So it makes even no sense as well. It's the primary colors. Don't overthink it. It's a children's fighting show. Looks like red is starting to fall back. And looks like red's starting to front shift a little bit. This is going to be one big stalemate. I have no idea how it goes, because if one person charges forward, another person can counterattack and will likely get more units attack. Of course, the other player will get his first strike in. If the first strike doesn't do enough damage, then the counterattack could be quite severe. And then, of course, whatever's left could get another good attack then where all the range is simply... all units will simply just be in range. It's hard to say how this would go. Good picks over there. Looks like Hawk found a breakthrough over here. Though there are only 2 tanks here. He does have 2 tanks. Battle Copper is exactly what he needs to help stabilize the region. The next unit over here will probably be anti-air. Tank's actually going to strike the anti there. Takes out that anti-air there. Oh, so he's focused on the anti-air, so he's going to try to bring some Battle Coppers over here to retaliate. Rather than trying to focus on the tanks, he's going to try to focus on the anti-airs. And Cyrus is putting a bit more aggression over here. Does have a decent screen of infantry. War tank not in the greatest position. Can still get out over here pretty well. Hawk will probably need to try to rotate his units around here-ish. It's hard to say exactly. Stalemate is something I would hate to be in. When it comes to stalemates, I always jump the gun. You now have a bomber deployed on the field. Infantry. Both players have pulled out some powerful units. One power charge. One of many out of many more. Looks like Cyrus is able to push forward. In fact, if he continues pushing down south, Hawk will be split in half. It can be both a good or bad thing. After all, elastic defense as an idea means if you push forward, units will just simply gather up around it, and then you can simply cut them off and squeeze them through. But of course, it's not necessarily a standard RTS or any other games involving logistics, so that doesn't really matter too much. But also means it's easy to be surrounded, which means because there's going to be more surface area to attack you than what you can inflict. Hawk does have also 23,000 for 17,000, so flipping some properties like this is important. And also Hawk is able to push forward up here. He may need to get a tank reinforced up here to help engage this tank. But overall, Hawk can make some plays to make that happen up here. Rotate those veterans to one tank up here. Let's see, bike, anti-air, battlecopter. His front lines are definitely closed on in. He has pulled back some of these units out of this, so preventing them from being cut off. And does rotate a tank up there. Another Fantasy 1 tank, but inadequate tank. I don't think that hitting that anti-air was a good idea. Now this artillery can strike that tank there. And it's going to need to rotate a battlecopter up here to make it worthwhile taking out that anti-air. Also, we can see another tank up here as well. This doesn't seem a good attack to me. And the bike and infantry would strike this infantry there and then hit the mech as well. Yeah, I think Hawk's going to get some good work done up there. Cyrus is starting to make some gains down south, trying to capture them properly, trying to flip them. Battlecopters and infantry in the region, so this AP is all he really needs to stop them. Another war tank up north. And I think Hawk could try charging forward. He might be pushing forward. Yeah, it looks like we're going to see that big conflict. Gets 32 energies. That gives him +1 CO zone. His memory is 30, 70, 120. Getting good dancer. Has Black Wave. Can't pop this turn. Cyrus has 39 energies as well. The command bike's there. Looks like the command bike should be safe. Could be bombed by the bomber. Strikes the war team, that's probably a better target. Remember as well, Black Wave can restore the health, half the damage from the missile silo from Cyrus. Cyrus should be able to get his power charge. He only needs 11 more energy. That's or 21 energy. That actually is going to be very simple in this situation. And like I said as well, looks like Hawk's able to get a breakthrough there. Taking out that anti-air was not a good idea. Left him too exposed. Battlecopter. Tank. Bike. Cyrus' turn. 21 energy. Very easy to do. And, oh. And resign button. I thought it was going to be a little bit more. Sorry for that. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And that's the last replay I have stored for tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening, and get some good